This particular video, I want to discuss the sales report. This particular icon here on the reports menu, this is a very specific report. This was added after a request, I believe, from a client that is an author that's actually writes and sells books. And they wanted a way of establishing how many items of a particular book they've sold over a year. The only way to achieve that was to generate a completely separate report. Now, this report uses the information from your invoices, because naturally, if you've invoiced a client, then that's a sale. It won't use it from any other area of the program. It has to come from an invoice. If you have not included a sale of an item on an invoice, it will not show up on the sales report. Just be aware of that, folks. So if you've sold something as a cash sale, but you wanted that to be included in your sales report, you need to add that somewhere on an invoice. I'm going to click this icon. I'm going to show you the screen. This particular screen here comes up. There seems to be a lot of activity going on this screen, but it is fairly simple when you look at it. If we click here, when we generate a report, let's say I just open the screen and I generate a report straight away. There's nothing on that report. See that? Because I have not selected what it is I want to include on the report. If I select this item here, if I click this icon, watch what happens. See, it puts included next to it. If I generate, it's told me that over this period of time, I've had 4 bench seats included, or 4 sales of bench seats. And this is the total income I gained from that. Again, that's based upon the invoice. So I could print off a report only for these items if I wanted to. And I can generate a sales report, and it's giving me the totals. Now, what I did was, I went back before and I added some books because it was designed around a person who was an author. I went through and added some books. And I created a whole bunch of, I created 3 or 4, I think it was, invoices which included book quantities in there. So I gave you a true example. So if I now click this here, I click generate, it says that I've had book sales. I've had 28 books of how to make friends. That's the amount that I've made on these books, or the amount that I sold them for. So to show you and prove to you that that was the case, I'm going to jump back to the invoice screen. And I'm going to show you some individual invoices. Click here. I think these last ones I did. See here, this one here, 10 and 2. Quantities of books. This one here had 33, 2 and 3. So see that? When we looked at the total sales report, they were all over 20. So it added books on poetry, it added the quantity that was sold. So that's proof that it is gathering the information. There is a set clause I want to point out here, guys. When you are using this particular facility, do not reword it. Do not reword anything in the invoice, and I'll show you why. If I click this here, it wants you to use whatever. If I click this and I look up here and I look at my books, this is my product list. Whatever you design your product list as, leave it. Don't redesign it again. Don't reword anything. Get it right the first time. If you muck it up and you have to go back and edit all your invoices, well then that's you're obviously doing that yourself. But try to get it right. Try to get your description right, because it uses the description. It doesn't use anything else. It looks at the description and matches the description against entries in invoices. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to select, if I just close that, what was I selected before? Land of the Living. So I'm going to select Land of the Living, and I'm going to give it 100. So it really stands out. That's $1,500, and I'll show you this. If I jump back now to this report, and I click Generate Sales Report, and I click Land of the Living, I generate the report, it says we've sold 104 total this particular book. Now, what would have happened if on that invoice I added more information to that? I'll show you. If I had put land of the living, and if I had have added something else on this line, because I can do that on the invoice, I can select the product list and add something else if I wanted to. Version 6. Let's just put that. Don't know why you would put anything there, but so I've called that version 6, land of the living version 6. What happens now when I create and look at the product, look at this report? It's only found 4 because you've changed the wording. This report looks at the exact wording, guys. So just remember that there is a clause in how to use that report. It looks at the wording, doesn't look at anything else. There is no tracking system employed. So just remember that it has to be the exact wording, exactly what it is that appears in the product list. What else do we see on this screen? Just as a quick idea, if we see select all, if I click this icon, as soon as I open the screen, if I click that, it will select all these items for you. Make it nice and simple, select all the items, and it gives you a detailed report on everything on that screen. Everything that was in all your invoices based upon anyone that was selected from the product list. I can put a clear all now. It clears everything off. If I'm producing various reports and I print that report, I can then clear that. I had to click that twice then, don't know why. View selected. What is that? You know what that report is? That's for. Let's say you have 300 items on this screen, and you go down the screen and you select different items going down the page, and you might have 10 items selected for the report over 300 items, and you're going up and down, you're going, which items have I selected? If you click View Selected, it will then return to the screen only those that are selected. You can have a look at that and go, oh, I'm missing something here. I didn't add this to the report. So now you can click View All and you go, yep, that's exactly what I want in the report. So when I click Generate, there we go. So this offers you a way of filtering so you know what's there. If I click All, I can clear all. So that is what those icons are for. I think that once you've played with it, you'll understand what's going on there. It's not too difficult to understand. And you do have your auto search again. If you've got 200 or 300 entries and you're looking for something, it's now found all entries with B. If I put O, it's now found all the entries with BO included in there. I think that's self-explanatory. Click backspace, it just continually backspaces out of that. You can send the report to the printer. You can again print your report as a rich text file. Okay, that is basically that report.